Well, as we get to visit with each other, interacting along the way, sometimes at a conference, sometimes at a special event in somebody's home, every week on Sunday mornings as we gather together, what a blessing it is to be in each other's presence. Evan and I got to sit around the campfire, and he was talking about how it's such a great illustration to take one of the burning sticks out of the campfire and set it off to the side and just watch it cool. And then as it cools, it stops burning, and then it stops glowing, and then it just stops burning altogether. And he said, it's a lot like that with the church. When you separate yourself from the gatherings, you begin to cool, and the flame goes out, and then the glow dies out, and then it stops burning altogether. And the Apostle Paul was saying to the church in Corinth, he said, in this confidence I intended to at first to come to you so that you might receive twice a blessing. That is, to pass your way into Macedonia, and again from Macedonia to come to you and by you to be helped on my journey to Judea. Because he was going from Corinth and then up to Macedonia, just north of Greece there in Corinth, or just north of Greece. And the plan then was to go back to Judea, to Jerusalem. He said, I'm going to come back through Corinth so you can be blessed twice. You get to be visited by the apostle Paul two different times. What a blessing that would be for any church. But the additional idea is that Paul himself would be blessed by them twice. It's this sweet fellowship that we get to share with each other. And I want to encourage you when you're traveling to stop and visit a church building. If it's on Sunday morning, you're going to have to plan your Saturday night and where you're going to be Sunday morning, but plan to be a blessing to the believers that gather in that town or that area. If it's through the week, call ahead. You've got these smartphones. Mine's under a piece of paper now, but we've got these smartphones. We can know where we're going to be at lunchtime or middle of the afternoon or coffee break time. Call ahead and say, hey, have you got time for a cup of coffee, or do you have time for lunch? And you can be a great encouragement to the church staff, the preacher, the secretaries, youth ministry people, whoever's there at the building at the time. Take them out to lunch. Just ask them how they're doing. Pray for them and spend that little bit of time refreshing them. It'll be a great blessing for them and for you. And I think that I've got story after story to illustrate that. Last week, Hugh Manley and I were traveling on our way to an airport, and we were quite early. So we stopped in Fort Wayne at the river, just pulled up to the building. The doors were all locked because it's in a city, and I called Mark Cleveland, the preacher. He answered the phone. He was there in the building, came out. He just finished all of his projects for the day and sat down, and we had just a delightful visit for 30 minutes or so. It was such a blessing for us. It, I think, was a blessing for him. So let me encourage you to do the same thing. If you're not traveling, get a hold of somebody in your local congregation and say, hey, how about lunch together? Just to encourage and comfort the believers where you are. If you're traveling, do it as you're traveling. If you're home, do it while you're home. But be a blessing in somebody else's life with this fellowship and the comfort we have. If somebody's sick or shut in, you know where to find them. Call ahead. But intend to do what the Apostle Paul did. He said, I wanted to be a blessing twice to you. As I'm going north to Macedonia and as I'm coming back south on my way to Judea with the collection from the saints to support the believers that are undergoing really difficult financial troubles. So as Paul was traveling around, he wanted to be a double blessing to the church in Corinth. You can be a blessing just like he was. You don't have to be an apostle to be a blessing to God's people. And do it motivated by the love of God flowing into you and through you, because I get to remind you again, God loves you. He always will, no matter what. He loves you. His blessings are specifically in his household. And then he generally blesses everybody, causes his rain to fall on the just and the unjust. But he loves you. And we love you too.